And so we're revealing the top 10 of our 4A Division I rankings. Let's start with number 10. The Decatur Eagles, after a resounding run through the playoffs that ran all the way to the state semifinals, they are back and loaded for bear. Coach Mike Fuller welcomes back his son at the quarterback spot, and Roman Fuller, who I know we have really high expectations for. This is a team that's got great talent coming back, a team to keep an eye on there in Region 1. Decatur begins the year number 10 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Number 9. The Lampasas Badgers.
Look at Lampasas. Badger.
The Badgers, after I think this is a bit of a projection pick, I'll tell you this much, but when you look at what they have coming back, I love the athletes they have coming back, on both sides of the ball. I think they've got some game breakers there. Lampasas is going to be a team to keep an eye on. I think we're giving them the number 9 ranking, so I don't think that they're a sleeper, but I will tell you, this is a team that is going to surprise some people if you're not familiar with what Lampasas has coming back. That's where Ace Whitehead lives.
Yeah, I was about to say we gave him 2 extra ranking points probably just because Ace Whitehead's name is awesome.
And so Lampasas begins the year number 9 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Yeah. Number 8, out east, the Henderson Lions. This is a team that got hot late, and a team that I think comes back with something to prove. I think they're tired of getting beaten by Henderson or by Carthage. They bring back
District of Doom.
8 starters offensively, have some rebuilding to do defensively, but this is a really, really solid team out there in Henderson. We expect them to be back in the mix. Henderson begins the year number 8 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Staying out east for number 7. Let's go north, though, to Paris. The Wildcats of Paris begin the year number 7 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. This is one of the most physical teams in the state, and we think that they are due for a big-time year. We would love to see a rematch of them and Waco La Vega because they're just going to knock lumps out of each other. A team that has a lot coming back offensively. They felt like maybe they were a year early. This could be the year for Paris. They begin their year number 7 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Number 6, Sealy. The aforementioned Tigers are back, and this is a team that under Coach Shane Mobley has gotten better every single year. A 12-win season a year ago, and they feel like they're ready for prime time. They're in Region 4. I think that Region 4 is a team that, or is a region that is manageable. I don't know if there's a world beater there, and I love what Sealy has coming back, especially defensively. The Tigers of Sealy begin the year number 6 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. To number 5 we go, and to Region 3. The Midlothian Heritage Jaguars start the year number 5 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. A little bit of rebuilding to do. They've got 5 starters back offensively, 6 on defense. From an 11-win team a year ago that felt like they should have beaten Carthage and felt like they probably should have gone around deeper. Midlothian Heritage is one of those fast-rising programs that I think has something to prove, and this could be the year that they prove it. The Jaguars of Midlothian Heritage begin the year number 5 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. To the top 4 we go, and number 4, the runner-up from last year, the Liberty Hill Panthers. Of course, a run to a state championship game a year ago, falling short to eventual champion Waco La Vega. This is a team that does have a number of holes to fill, but the system that Jefferson Walker runs down there, this is a team that I feel like is going to reload on the fly. I know they feel very good about the JV that's coming up to fill in a lot of those holes. Liberty Hill begins the year number 4 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. To the top 3 we go. The number 3 team, the Argyle Eagles, 13-1 a year ago, came up a little bit short, but I love the playmakers they have coming back. Most notably, quarterback Bo Hogaboom is back in the mix. This is a team that I think is going to has something to prove after losing to a team they'd already beaten in Waco La Vega. This is one of the few teams that can say they beat the eventual state champions. Argyle begins the year number 3 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Number 2, the Carthage Bulldogs. Carthage is loaded for bear again. I think that last year, if you want to call that a rebuilding year, that's okay. They bring back 14 starters from this year, and Coach Scott Surratt thinks their team is going to be better this year, and it's easy to see why. Playmakers all over the field like Kelvonte Dixon. This is a team that I think has a chance to get back to the mountaintop and win a state championship. There's a short list of teams in 4A Division I that I think can win it. Carthage is on that list. The Bulldogs of Carthage begin the year number 2 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. And the number 1 team in 4A Division I, it has to be the defending state champs, the Waco La Vega Pirates. I want to be clear that I think that there are some holes to fill defensively. They're losing 7 starters from that really, really good defense a year ago. That said, the offense is going to hum again. I know they feel really good about 2 different quarterbacks they have there. They've got a big physical offensive line that was pretty young last year that I think is coming into its own, and you do not have to worry about too much a defense coached by Don Hyde. Waco La Vega is our pick to win the 4A Division I state championship and go back-to-back. The La Vega Pirates begin the year number 1 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football's 4A Division I rankings. Okay, let's matriculate to 4A Division II now. Of course, expanded rankings in Dave Campbell's Texas Football, the top 25 in each division. We will give you the top 10 here on the show, though, so we're happy to unveil those. To 4A Division II, the number 10 team in 4A Division II, out to the South Plains and Lubbock Estacado. Begins the year number 10 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and a second year under Coach Joe Cluley, I think, is going to do wonders for this program. This is a team that won 9 games a year ago, brings back 6 starters defensively, and I think that they've got a couple of holes to fill at key positions, but Coach Cluley, I think, has established himself as a guy who can get teams where they need to go. I think they're going to get there. Lubbock Estacado begins year number 10 in the 4A Division II rankings. Number 9, the Graham Steers. Graham begins the year number 9 out there in Region 2, another one, or Region 1 rather, and this is a team that I think early on at least is going to rely a lot on what could be a very good defense. This is a defense that brings back 9 starters that I think got better as the year went on. If they stay healthy, I think they've got a chance to run to a state semifinal. This is a team that I think, you look at that 9 and 10, I think they're going to be jockeying for position all year long in Region 1. But Graham is a team certainly to keep an eye on. The Steers begin the year number 9 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. To number 8 we go, and to District 8, where the Lorena Leopards clock in at number 8 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. An 11-win team from a year ago brings back half of their team after losing in the regional semifinal in a heartbreaker to Pittsburgh. This is a Lorena team that's got speed to burn, playmakers all over the field. The Leopards are going to be a team to keep an eye on. Keep an eye on Lorena. Lorena begins the year number 8 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Number 7, a familiar face here. The Gilmer Buckeyes, after the very odd 6-7 season last year, the Buckeyes
tough schedule.
Played a brutal schedule. It's going to be a brutal schedule again, but they may be a little bit more well prepared to deal with it. This is a stronger team, I think, that has 9 starters coming back on an offense that was remarkably young a year ago. 6 starters on the defense. The Buckeyes are going to be back. This is a team with pedigree, a team that knows what's expected of them. I think that Gilmer is going to be right back in the hunt. The Buckeyes of Gilmer begin the year number 7 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Number 6 we go. How about
a new face?
Waco Connally.
Yeah.
The Cadets of Connally clock in at number 6 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and there is star power to burn. If you are not familiar with running back Javion Sunday, you are missing out. He is one of 9 starters back on offense and a defense that I think could take a big step forward. This is the team you want to keep an eye on. I think Connally could be that breakout candidate in 2019. The Cadets of Waco Connally begin the year number 6 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Number 5, another familiar face. The West Orange Stark Mustangs clock in at number 5 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. A team that, look, the chain gang defense is going to hum. This is going to be a defense that under Coach Cornell Thompson, you're never going to have to worry about regardless of how many starters they have coming back. But the thing that I'm very excited about for them is that I think that they're going to have a big offensive line. And that offensive line could plow the road. They're going to have some size. West Orange Stark has not always had size, but it seems like this is going to be a bigger West Orange Stark team than normal. That said, they run in a difficult region. I think that I think Cornell Thompson may believe they're 1 year away, but I will say that I think whenever you're coached by a legend like that, you're going to have a chance. West Orange Stark has pedigree like almost nobody does. They start the year at number 5 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Number 4, It's the defending state champion Cuero Gobblers checking at number 4 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Gone is a super decorated senior class that included superstar running back, athlete really, Jordan Whittington, and outstanding running back Kearon Grant, and a number of outstanding defensive players. This is a rebuild here for Travis Reeve, but I know that they feel very good about some reinforcements coming up from an undefeated JV team. This is a team that's got a number of playmakers coming back, I think, at the right positions. It would not be a surprise to see them right back in Arlington this year. Cuero starts the year number 4 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. So if the defending champ's out.
Oh, man. 3 to go.
Number 3. Let's go back to Region 3 and go back to Silsbee. Silsbee starts the year number 3 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. 7 starters back from an offense that really felt like it got its feet underneath it late in the year. A team that I think is going to be stronger this year after a close loss to Cuero in a state semifinal. They feel like this is the year that they can have that breakthrough. Of course, the defending regional champs, Silsbee. They will have to go through West Orange Shark End District, but they've already beaten them. This is a team that I think believes they can make that run. Silsbee, the Tigers, begin the year number 3 in Dave Campbell's Texas.
And to a man, probably the team that most coaches bring up, saying
yes.
Not enough people are talking about these guys.
The team they're worried about.
Yeah.
The team they're saying don't sleep on them. Number 2, the Jasper Bulldogs. 17 starters back from a team that went 12-1 and probably feels like they left one on the table in a regional semifinal against West Orange Stark. This is a team that was, I think, a year ago. This is the speed on this team is borderline absurd. They have burners all over the field. The only thing holding me back is that they do have to run through Region 3. It's going to be very, very difficult. But we think Jasper's the favorite to come out of Region 3. They begin the year number 2 in Dave Campbell's Texas football, which leaves just number 1.
Gee, I wonder.
It's the Pleasant Grove Hawks, the runner-up from a year ago and the 2017 state champion. I think in a lot of ways, last year, even going into that state championship game, we thought, y'all aren't supposed to be here this year.
Yeah. They were a year early.
You're a year early.
Yeah, that's how good they are.
Because they were reloading. Well, now they bring back 14 starters from that team. Yeah. Josh Gibson feels like they're going to be stronger. You have a senior quarterback in Ben Harmon, and you've got a lot of playmakers that have big game experience. A lot of these guys have played in 2 state championship games. They're not going to be rattled. Furthermore, they have to go through Region 2, which I think, yes, Gilmer will lurk, but I think that they're going to be the favorite coming out of Region 2.
And by the way, arguably their most talented athlete is coming back.
Correct.
Landon Jackson.
Yes, Landon Jackson, who, of course, missed the state championship game with an injury. This is a team that we think is ready for prime time. We think that they're the favorite to win the 4A Division II state championship. The Pleasant Grove Hawks begin the year number 1 in Dave Campbell's Texas football's 4A Division II rankings.
Don't want to give too much away, but we're probably on the short list of teams that you would be willing to put money on at this point, right?
I think they are a...
There's only a handful that we
There's only a couple.
How do I want to play?
Yeah.
I think they are a clear favorite.
Yeah.
I think another team is going to have to step up and show me that they're on their level.
Yep.
And I think there's a handful of teams that could. Yep. Especially in Region 3.
Because remember, that the Cuero game, they were dominating until they just decided to give the ball to one of the best athletes in the state.
Why don't we just make the entire plane out of Jordan Whittington?
Yeah.
Yes, that is, to me, they are a team that begins the year with on top. Yeah. They are a team that somebody's going to have to prove that they're on their level. Yeah. And again, I think Jasper could do it. I think Silsbee could do it. I think Cuero. I think West Orange Stark.
Yep.
I think Waco Connally.
But I think they're going to have to surprise us a little
bit. I think in a semifinal, if they see a team like Graham or Lubbock Estacado, that could give them a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
But I will say that I think that they begin the year not as prohibitive favorites, but as clear favorites in 4A Division II.